My back was hurting so bad I could barely walk. All I needed was $5 for some medicine. So I sent a text to my 3 sons asking for help. I had no idea what was about to happen when their wives found out. Lisa, my oldest daughter-in-law, came storming into my house like an angry tiger. She was screaming at me, calling me names I can't even repeat. Then came Sarah, my second daughter-in-law, pointing her finger right at my face and yelling about how I always pick favorites. She said her husband Tom shouldn't have to give me even $5. And Jenny, my youngest daughter-in-law, fell to the floor crying and said she was going to leave my son Mike. My heart just broke. Every single month, I gave them my whole $2,000 check from the government, split between all 3 families. Plus, I watched their kids every day, clean their houses and cook their meals. At night, I would drag my aching body to the food market to sell tacos from my little cart. Every penny I made, I gave to them without asking for anything back. But this time, I had enough. I sat in my old kitchen chair, touching my sore back, and made a decision. I was leaving. I already bought a bus ticket for 3 days later to go to Willowbrook, the small town where I used to live when I was young. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Lisa came back into my house. She got right in my face and started yelling, "What kind of game are you playing? Asking for $5? Are you trying to make us feel sorry for you?" Her voice was full of anger. "I know what you're doing. You like Tom and Mike more than my husband. You say you treat us all the same, but you're lying." My son Mark tried to calm her down. "Lisa, relax. It's just $5. What's wrong with helping my mom?" But that made her even more angry. She grabbed a bowl of fruit from my table and threw it on the floor. The bowl broke into pieces and oranges rolled everywhere. She pointed at one orange and said, "Do you see these oranges? They cost $7 at the store." She can buy expensive oranges, but says she doesn't have $5 for medicine? Are you trying to make me look stupid? Her eyes were huge with anger. You give Tom and Mike $1,000 each month, but when it comes to me, you're suddenly broke? Then she completely lost control. She grabbed a chair and started hitting my coffee table, my TV, and my cabinets. The sound of breaking glass mixed with her angry screams filled my whole house. "You're embarrassing me, so I'm going to make sure this house isn't peaceful either." Mark whispered, "Oh no," then got mad at me. "Mom, why did you ask us for money? You know how she gets. Aren't you just trying to cause trouble?" I quickly said, "My friend gave me that orange. I was going to cut it up so you could all try some." I thought that would make Lisa calm down, but she just laughed in a mean way. "Don't lie to me. I know exactly how much money you have." I was about to explain that I really didn't have money for medicine, and my back hurt so much I could barely stand up. But then Sarah and Jenny came running in without even knocking and started arguing before they even knew what was happening. Sarah stood up and pointed her finger right at my nose and yelled, "Do you think you can do whatever you want because you're old? Ever since I married into this family, it's been nothing but bad luck. Are you really going to hold old grudges over $5? You either like Mark more or you spoil Mike. Do you know how much I've suffered in this family?" Her voice was loud and sharp, full of years of anger. "Grace, let me tell you something. When you're old and sick in bed, I won't even come to see you. It's my bad luck that I got a mother-in-law like you." Jenny cried and yelled at the same time. "Mom, tell me, when have you ever thought about our family? Just because my husband is the youngest, nobody loves him, and everyone in this family looks down on me. You put meat in the soup for their kids, but when it comes to our house, there's just watery broth left." She angrily threw her purse and walked toward the door. "I've had enough. I'm going back to my mom's house. Whoever wants to stay in this family can stay." Mike ran after her saying, "Don't be like this. Don't get upset. Let's talk about it at home." Tom quickly hugged Sarah and whispered nice things to her. "I know you're hurting. I'm sorry. I should have handled this better." Watching all of this happen, my heart felt like someone was squeezing it. Since they were little boys, I always told my 3 sons to be kind to women and to love and protect their wives when they got married. I didn't want them to be like their father. My own marriage fell apart long ago. He had other women while I held our family together all by myself, living like a ghost. He never once asked if I was okay. I didn't want my sons to be like that. But everything happening in front of me showed they weren't much better. Not as cold as their dad, but definitely not truly caring either. I had kept this family together for decades, and now I was seen as a problem instead of their mother. Sarah and Jenny slammed the door and left, leaving my living room a mess. I stood there looking at the broken glass, turned over chairs, and spilled juice. Suddenly, the house felt colder than a winter night. I always thought I was a good mother-in-law. I took care of all three families' children, did their laundry, cooked their food, picked up kids from school, and worked at the night market to make money. I did everything. I gave them all the money I made, even adding my monthly government check as extra help. I even paid for the down payments on their houses. All three houses were on the same street, exactly the same, all arranged by me. Every day I was like a worker, cleaning for Sarah in the morning, picking up kids from Jenny's in the afternoon, then pushing my food cart to the night market at 8 p.m. to sell corn tortillas. I worked until 1 or 2 in the morning, then came home and got less than 4 hours of sleep. For decades, I lived like a spinning top, never daring to stop. That night, I sat in the dark corner of my bedroom, looking at bus tickets on my phone. I bought one for 3 days later. Destination, Willowbrook, a quiet, clean town where I used to work as a waitress when I was young. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. All three sons called, but none of them asked about my health. "Mom, why didn't you take Emma to school? Sarah had a fight with her boss today because you made her late." "Mom, Sophie was late today and I missed my company's morning meeting. This is really inconvenient." "Mom, please don't throw a tantrum. If we want the family to be good, the most important thing is for you to keep doing what you're supposed to do. We all need to work together, right?" As I listened, I still hoped that just one of them would ask how I was feeling, but there was nothing. So I tried to explain. "My back has been hurting terribly these past few days. The doctor told me to rest in bed for a few months. Otherwise, it could become a serious problem with my nerves." Mark laughed softly on the phone, his voice cold. "Mom, everyone has back pain these days. Don't scare yourself. Just take some medicine and you'll be fine." But just last month, he spent over $200 on a special back brace for Lisa's mom. For her, spending money was being a good son. For me, it was faking being sick. Tom's voice was flat. "Mom, haven't you already put on pain patches? Those things get better in a few days naturally, and watching a kid isn't a big deal, is it?" Mike didn't even care about my pain. He said, "Mom, how much money do you have left? Send it all to me first. I need cash." At that moment, the small hope in my heart died completely, like a candle blown out by cold wind. That night, the pain was so bad, I couldn't even turn over in bed. I just lay there flat, sweating. The door quietly opened, and Emma walked in. She's my oldest son's daughter, Lisa's child, 9 years old, and I'd been taking care of her since she was a baby. She walked to my bed and gently put her small hand on my arm. "Grandma, Mom was really upset today because you didn't go to the night market. She said it was her day to collect the money. Since you didn't set up the food cart, she lost a night's worth of cash." I sighed, my voice barely a whisper. "Grandma's back hurts too much today. I can't walk. I can't go out." Emma bit her lip and looked down, whispering, "I told her you weren't feeling well, but she still got mad. This month has 31 days, and for the past 2 months, Aunt Sarah and Aunt Jenny each got an extra night's money. Now she says it has to be her turn to make it up." In that moment, reality hit me hard. I had run that food cart for 30 years, through rain and sun, never missing a day. With that little cart, I saved enough money to buy each of my 3 sons their own houses. But after they all got married, Lisa got an idea first. She said her family needed money urgently and asked if I could give them a few nights of food cart money to help them out. I agreed without thinking twice. But I worried Sarah and Jenny would misunderstand, so I let them take turns too. Everyone got 10 days worth of money per month.
I thought that by dividing it equally, I would make them understand. But they were each smarter than the last, even making a spreadsheet. Who had taken money on what day? Who had missed a night last time? Who had taken 2 extra hours this month? They remembered every detail clearly. "Mom, you've done so much for us. We'll definitely treat you like our own mother." They had said once. I actually believed them. But the reality was, the more I gave, the deeper their demands became. "If only this month had 30 days, Emma said softly. "Mom wouldn't be so angry." Just then, Lisa burst into the room like a storm. The moment she saw me still lying down, her face became darker than night. She pointed at me and yelled, "Grace, what exactly do you want?" I stared at the ceiling, my voice cold. "I don't want anything." She fired off questions like a machine gun. "Didn't you say you treat all 3 daughter-in-laws equally? Then what is this? Today is my turn for the money, and you're lying in bed saying your back hurts and you can't go to the market. You go sell for Tom and Mike even when you're tired, but when it's my turn, you claim to be sick. Is that fair?" Her voice got sharper and sharper, her finger almost poking my face. "Grace, I'm telling you, if you don't go to the market today, don't expect us to take care of you in the future." I slowly moved my body, grinding my teeth through the pain, and managed to sit up halfway, looking at her face. "Rely on you? I can't rely on you now, so you expect me to in the future? Don't even dream about it." Lisa clearly hadn't expected me to talk back like that. She jumped up like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, her voice hitting its highest pitch. "Fine, you're finally showing your true colors. You want to give all your money to Tom and Mike now? Don't even dream about it. You want to cut ties? Then I'll grant you that." I looked at her, my voice calm as still water. "Then let's cut ties. You say how you want to do it. If you want to sign a paper or write a statement, I'm fine with it." Lisa froze, like I slapped her. Then her mood suddenly changed. Tears came rushing down her face, and she sobbed like she had suffered the greatest injustice. "Oh God, what did I do to deserve this? To have such an unfair mother-in-law. I can't live like this. I'm divorcing Mark. Divorcing him today."
This wasn't the first time. Whenever Mark and I displeased her even slightly, she threatened divorce to pressure me. That night, Mark came into my bedroom fuming. "Mom, what are you trying to do? Lisa has destroyed the house like a war zone, dishes broken everywhere. Can't you just go comfort her? It's just a matter of saying sorry. Do you have to make such a big deal out of it?" I lay still on the bed, as if this house had nothing to do with me. Seeing that I wasn't speaking, his anger got worse. "Are you just going to sit there calmly and watch your family fall apart? Are you satisfied with this?" He slammed the door shut, the loud bang echoing through the entire house. The next morning, I went to the only person I could trust, my friend Laura Martinez. We'd been selling food together at the Santa Ana night market for almost 20 years. She had always been my best friend. I told her I wanted to move back to Willowbrook. The problem was, I had no savings at all. The money I'd earned over the years had been taken by my 3 daughter-in-laws for various reasons. My only way out was to sell the old house I was living in. It was a single-story house built in the 1980s with 3 bedrooms, 1 living room, and a small yard with tomatoes and mint. I'd bought it when the kids were young using my night market money. House prices in this area had gone way up, with new homes starting at $500,000. Although my old house was older, it had a good location and decent schools nearby. Luckily, Laura's niece was looking for a house. Her and her husband didn't have enough money to buy a new home and they were struggling. I offered them a fair price, $150,000, far below what it was worth, but enough for me to start fresh. That afternoon, they came to see the house. Although it was an older house, I had always kept it very clean. The roof had just been fixed and the water pipes and electricity had also been repaired by professionals. Laura patted her chest and promised, "You'll definitely get a great deal with this house. It's just 2 blocks from the main street, a 5-minute walk to the train station. The location is fantastic." They agreed right away. That afternoon, we signed the papers.
I opened a new bank account and the house payment was put in immediately. $150,000 sitting quietly on this new card. I treated Laura and Tira to a plate of barbecue ribs, and her eyes filled with tears as she ate. I knew she was going to miss me. We were each other's only reliable friends in this city. Her home life wasn't easy either. Both her daughter-in-laws were difficult, constantly bringing up old problems and accusing her of playing favorites. She put down her fork, then took my hand and said, "Being a mom is really hard. No matter what you do, it's always wrong." I nodded, saying, "No more." She was right. No matter how much of your heart you poured into it, in the end you were just that unfair mom. So this time I decided to completely pull away and just be myself. That evening I packed my suitcase. There wasn't much, just a few old clothes and some important papers. I planned to take the long-distance bus to Willowbrook early the next morning. But just before I went to bed, the doorbell rang. Soon Sarah arrived, then Lisa, and finally Jenny. They each sat on my living room sofa with awkward, strange smiles, all holding back what they wanted to say. Sarah was the first to speak, her tone not very polite. "What exactly are you planning to do? Just completely let loose? You didn't set up the food cart yesterday and you've been lying around all day today, not even watching the kids. Didn't you say your back hurt? But you seem to be walking just fine. Why haven't you seen a doctor? Or are you just faking it?" Tom's face was serious, like he was questioning me. "Mom, this really isn't good. We're family. Even if there are disagreements, you shouldn't take it out on the kids. The cart isn't open. No one's watching the children. You're being so stubborn."
Lisa gave a mean laugh. "Do you feel like you're living a quiet life now? But don't forget, you're not getting any younger. When you get sick or have an accident in the future, won't it still be us who have to take care of you? You've quit today. What will you do tomorrow?" Jenny crossed her arms, her face showing fake sadness. "I was late for work today. No matter how unhappy you are, these grandkids are yours too, right? What do you mean by just washing your hands of them? Are you trying to cut ties or just seeking attention?" I answered her coldly, my voice flat. "Since they are also your children, let their fathers take care of them. I'm just their grandmother. Why should I be responsible?" At that, Lisa's eyes turned red with anger. She jumped up, waving her finger wildly in front of me. "You really dare say that? You, a grandmother, saying something like that? Are you even fit to be our children's grandmother? You're clearly saying you don't want to bother anymore, right?" I looked up, meeting her gaze, and replied word for word, "That's right. I don't want to bother anymore. I've done my best my entire life raising my own children. Your children are your responsibility. You figure it out. Don't threaten me with family. Real family doesn't do this kind of thing. You've taken enough from me. From today on, no one is getting anything else from me." After I finished speaking, the room instantly became silent. Lisa's mouth hung open, unable to say anything back. Sarah raised an eyebrow, saying nothing. Jenny rolled her eyes in disgust. Their 3 husbands, my 3 sons, also sat there like they had been struck silent. Not a sound from any of them. I knew they hadn't expected me to fight back. In that moment, I finally said what had been weighing on my heart for years. The old me would put up with everything, do everything, never dare to talk back, tirelessly living like a tool. But today, I'd had enough. Sarah was the first to break the silence, a cold smile on her face. "Grace, are you really sure about this? If you're truly going to burn bridges, then don't expect us to help you one bit in the future." Jenny added fuel to the fire. "I think you're just so ungrateful. Do you really think your $1,000 a month makes you a sugar mommy?" Mike's voice began to get hard. "Mom, that's enough. Stop making a scene. You've rested long enough today. Starting tomorrow, you go to the market and you watch the kids." Jenny grabbed Mike's sleeve and yelled at him. "Let me tell you clearly, if she keeps acting up and not working, I'm not staying in this marriage. Without the elder's support, this marriage will fall apart. I can live better without you." Mike quickly tried to calm her down. All right, don't be angry. She won't really abandon us." Mark and Tom also quickly begged me, "Mom, don't be hasty. The family still needs you. The kids need you. And the cart needs you. Let's just move past this little disagreement." But my heart was completely dead. I closed my eyes, not wanting to say another word to them. My decision was made. Tomorrow, I would leave this city and these people. At 5 in the morning, I put my old travel bag over my shoulder. Inside were just a few changes of clothes and a pair of worn-out shoes. I took a taxi to the bus station. Once on the bus, I didn't look back. Outside the window, the city lights disappeared quickly, just like my old life, left behind by time, unable to hold on to anything. Soon after the bus started, a young girl sitting next to me smiled and offered me a piece of bread. "Ma'am, you look a little tired. Here, have this." Her smile was pure and real, just like how my 3 daughter-in-laws had smiled at me when I first met them. Back then, they had looked at me with such kindness, saying, "We'll be family now." But kindness has an expiration date. The closeness we once shared had been slowly worn away by reality. Time moved forward, but people drifted further and further apart.
I took the bread softly, saying, "Thank you." On the ride, the young girl next to me talked excitedly about popular video websites. I wasn't particularly interested, but looking at her bright face, I suddenly realized my own children had never shared their world with me like this. 10 hours later, I finally arrived back in Willowbrook. Today's world is full of tall buildings and fast growth, but this small town still kept its quiet, peaceful feeling. The air here smelled like pine trees and earth, fresh and silent, yet it also sent a chill down my spine. I had been gone for over 20 years. Almost none of the young people in town recognized me. Only a few gray-haired, slow-moving older people still managed to call out my youthful name. The old wooden house I once lived in had half fallen down. The yard was full of weeds, and the windows were just empty frames. The mayor, Mr. Hawkins, was a kind old man. Hearing I was back, he suggested I temporarily stay in the workers' room behind the town hall. Without thinking much, I took out $20,000 in cash from my new account and gave it to him to hire someone to build a simple house, asking him to handle the building and buying of materials. In the days I waited for the house to be built, I opened my phone again. Dozens of voice messages and texts, all from my 3 sons and their wives. They had added me to a family group chat called All for Mom, but every message felt like an attack. "Mom, are you crazy? You sold the house without telling us. The police said you left the state. Why are you going to Willowbrook? Who even knows you there? What do you mean by just leaving everything here? Now Sophie's late for school every day and getting in trouble with her teacher, and I'm late too. Do you know how embarrassing that is for me? Can't you just come back and take care of the kids? Do you really have to force us to quit our jobs? Our family is already tight on money, and you just ran off and left everything. You're the most irresponsible mother I've ever seen." I looked at their words, my fingers typing a single sentence without hesitation. "From now on, our relationship is over. I will be deleting your contact information. Please do not contact me again." After sending it, I removed and blocked each of them from my phone cleanly and decisively. It was time to live for myself. I spent a few days marking out 2 pieces of land on Willowbrook's North Hill, one for growing vegetables and the other to create my own garden. I had loved flowers when I was younger, but back then I couldn't afford to spend money on them. Being a mother always meant putting myself last. Now I could finally let loose the passion that had been held back for decades. I hired a small building crew from town, and they built a red brick house with a front porch in less than a month. I planted corn and green beans behind the house, and I personally worked the soil in the front yard, planting roses, morning glories, and lavender. Those first few days after moving in, I still felt empty inside, but I knew I couldn't let it eat me up. So I bought a used video camera in town and daily filmed short clips of myself planting flowers, picking vegetables, cooking, and taking care of the yard. In the evenings, I'd edit the videos and upload them to a video sharing website, naming it Granny Grace's Garden. It was just meant to pass the time, but slowly I started getting followers, from a few hundred to a few thousand, then over 30,000. Some said I was their ideal grandmother, some asked me for gardening tips, and others wanted me to teach them how to make stews. I also kept busy sewing aprons, placemats, and even old-style dresses by hand. There was a used goods shop in town that had an old Singer sewing machine. I bought it, cleaned it for 3 days and nights, and amazingly, it worked.
After sewing so much, people even started asking me for custom orders. I uploaded videos of this series as well, and the nickname All Around Granny spread like wildfire. With my new income and my monthly government check, I had more than enough. And I had long decided I wouldn't share another penny with those three families. My money was for me to use. Now buying pain relief cream no longer meant listening to Lisa's mean remarks. A few days later, my email and social media accounts were suddenly flooded with messages from unknown accounts. It was my three sons. They were using fake accounts to send me loads of videos of my grandkids. In the videos, the children were crying uncontrollably. "Grandma, please come back. We haven't had breakfast for 2 days. No one does the laundry. We're cold and hungry, Grandma. Mommy doesn't work anymore. Daddy says we're broke. Can you just lend us a little money? Grandma, please." Mom and Dad are always fighting now. They throw things. They scream. I'm scared. They say they're getting divorced. Looking at those innocent faces, I didn't waver one bit. I blocked all three accounts immediately and stopped responding. A few days later, an unknown number called. Without thinking much about it, I answered. On the other end, it was Tom. His voice was choked, almost unable to speak clearly. "Mom, please don't do this to me. If you don't come back, my family will truly fall apart. I know I was wrong. You can yell at me, hit me. Just please don't ignore me. Please come back, okay?" I slowly lowered the phone from my ear and replied to him as calmly as I would to a stranger. "I am no longer your mother." With that, I hung up and blocked the number without hesitation. I thought they would finally understand that I was serious. To my surprise, just before Christmas, the three brothers, along with their wives and children, rushed to Willowbrook. They arrived at my doorstep, all smiles with gifts in hand, acting like we were having a family reunion. Lisa, for once, wasn't as stubborn as usual. Her head hung, her voice unusually soft. "Grace, please don't be angry anymore. I know I had a bad temper and spoke harshly before, but I didn't mean it. Please don't take it to heart. We're family. It's the holidays. Let's not dwell on it." Sarah added, "Grace, young people sometimes don't know any better and say the wrong things, but deep down they appreciate you. We all know how hard you've worked for this family your whole life. Please give us a chance." Jenny even more dramatically grabbed my arm, tears in her eyes. "Dear Grace, you don't know how much I've regretted these past few days. Please come back with us for the holidays, okay?" My three sons stood straight, each more respectful than the last. The grandchildren crowded around, looking at me with begging eyes. "Grandma, it's too cold here. Please come back home. I miss your cooking, Grandma." I looked at them. The tears, the apologies, the children's pleas, each more touching than the last. But I knew perfectly well, these people weren't truly sorry. They just wanted me to come back and continue being their tireless, complaining-free, unpaid babysitter. I pulled my hand free from Jenny's tight grip, my voice as cold as ice. "I have cut ties with all of you. Even if you got down on your knees and begged me, I would not go back, and I will not forgive you." Mark's face filled with shock. "Mom, why are you being so absolute? You're our mom. Is it really necessary?" I stared at him with no expression. "I don't know about your lives, and I don't want to know about your lives, but my life now is very good." The looks on the three couples' faces instantly froze. Shock, anger, and unease mixed together. But they didn't dare say another word. However, they didn't give up. 2 days later, they started asking the town's priest, the supermarket cashier, and even Mayor Hawkins for help. Anyone I knew, they tried to get them to plead their case. But no matter what they said or who tried to convince me, I had only one reply. I don't even care about my own sons anymore. What do you think my daughters-in-law could possibly offer me? After my statement spread, the entire town understood how serious I was. Perhaps it was at that moment that my 3 sons finally realized they had lost me. As I was about to close the door, Mike suddenly got down and hugged my legs. He lowered his head, gently touching my knee like a child about to break down. "Mom, I know you're hurt. I know I messed up, but I'm stuck in the middle and it's been so hard. Can you just please let it go?" I looked down at him, only deep disappointment remaining in my heart. "I worked tirelessly to raise you," I said calmly but firmly, "to put you through college, help you buy a house, teach you how to be a responsible husband. But all of it was not so that I would have to suffer to earn your current conflicted attitude." He silently hung his head, saying sorry over and over. But my heart was already like still water, completely undisturbed. Lisa, standing nearby, was tearful, her voice full of panic. "Grace, ever since you left, the house has been in complete chaos. Taking care of the kids by myself is truly exhausting. I beg you, please come home and help us." I laughed, responding, "You're exhausted taking care of one child? I used to take care of 3 children, cook, do laundry, clean, and work at night. Do you think I wasn't exhausted?" Lisa was speechless for a moment, then awkwardly said, "I didn't mean it like that. Please don't misunderstand." I didn't bother to talk with them anymore. I turned and firmly locked the door. Outside, heavy snow was falling, and the wind blew as cold as a knife. They knocked, called my name, and begged me, but I remained completely unmoved. That night, I slept better than I had in years. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. I opened my social media and instantly understood why. My 3 daughters-in-law had filmed last night's scene and uploaded it online. In the video, they stood at my front door in thin clothes, shivering and crying in the snow, looking completely miserable. The title read, "Came home to apologize but locked out by mother-in-law all night long. Is her heart truly so cruel?" They even deliberately left my social media name with a pitiful message. "Because of a misunderstanding, we brought the children to make up, but our mother-in-law mercilessly turned us away." The comment section exploded instantly. "The kids are innocent. Even if you have issues with your daughters-in-law, how can you be so heartless? What kind of evil mother-in-law is this? If one daughter-in-law is a problem, maybe it's a coincidence, but all 3 are impossible. The problem might be with you." In just a few hours, my follower count shot up to over 100,000. Almost all of them there to curse me. I, however, thought good, so I immediately set my account so only followers could comment. Those mean people poured in like a flood, cursing me while following me, their comments coming faster than a storm. I knew their goal, which was to use online pressure to force me to give in, to morally blackmail me with public emotion, but they had miscalculated. I quickly released a long statement. "My relationship with my 3 daughters-in-law has officially ended. You may choose to forgive their mean actions, but I do not accept their fake apologies and dramatic moral pressure. I don't live online, nor do I live for likes. I have my dignity.